Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. My name is Mr. Maxwell, and welcome back to another side quest about video games with myself and, as always, Exile Magpie.
Hello.
I would say this is, well, for me personally, it's been a pretty good week for gaming.
Well, news-wise, yes.
News-wise, I don't think there's not been any horrible news, I would say.
Yet.
for the last 2 weeks, because we had a break last week.
Yes.
And there hasn't been anything massive that I would say is absolutely huge. Other than the fact that it generally does look like Microsoft are going to get the acquisition to go through. It does look that way.
There is still the UK authorities that...
Yeah, they're still working on it, but it's generally looking like if you look, it's all over the internet and all over YouTube. I mean, literally all you have to put in is Activision, and the next thing is Microsoft's acquisition going through.
By the way, to the Call of Duty fan base, I hope you like pre-cooked, poorly launched, with very little content, end-game content, battle passes that are supposed to be relaunched every 2 months and won't be for every 4. Because basically Halo is what's going to happen to Call of Duty eventually. Why? Because Microsoft, instead of spending money on studios, as in investing in the studios they have, they just go and buy new ones. And then wonder why all their games are shit.
Yeah. But anyway, but other than that, there's nothing good. And I'm kind of, if I'm honest, I am kind of...
Until there's actual development. Now there's no point talking about it.
And I just don't care anymore. Like, I've just come to think of it. Like, look, I know, like, I don't want Microsoft to have a monopoly of them owning most of the IPs and most of the stuff like that. But at the same time, there's nothing really from Activision that, like, if it just went to Xbox, I would really give a shit about.
Diablo.
I'll just play Diablo 4.
All the Blizzard stuff.
I'll just play Diablo 4.
All the Blizzard stuff.
Diablo 4 is already out.
So that's Overwatch and...
Overwatch, they've killed Overwatch.
True.
So, like, I don't care about that anymore.
Yeah, because
I don't play WoW.
The co-op mode in Overwatch is still...
I don't play WoW.
Yeah.
So, that's that out of the window. I don't play real-time strategy, so StarCraft's not there. Although I'm starting to think that StarCraft shouldn't even be on they've got the Blizzard title thing.
Actually, there has been an announcement of a patch update for StarCraft 2. It's in the 2 weeks that we've been not talking. Yeah, there's an actual patch update. Like it's which, considering how long it's been since the last patch update, is like, oh my god, wait, you know the game exists?
Yeah, they're probably just adding in a shop.
No. It's an actual like patch
to fix things,
to like fix certain things and change certain stats to deal with like any overpowered metas that are showing up.
But
an actual like, as in they are looking after the game patch.
Oh, okay.
Which is like,
I still don't believe that they can.
Like I said, wait, you know this exists?
They're probably just like, well, people might buy it if they watch the Korean tournament or something like that.
Yeah, but they've stopped all, this is the thing. Activision Blizzard have stopped all funding to all their tournaments. It's why no one cares. It's why the Overwatch League is literally imploding on itself.
Yeah,
because when you are the only people financing that tournament and decide to pull the plug on it, lo and behold, all the money dries up. Anyway.
So yeah, like. I just don't care anymore. Yeah, I just don't care. Even if this was the other way around and it was so.
I understand how some people
it would be like, I just don't care anymore.
I understand how some people will be upset if Call of Duty does no longer come on the PlayStation, but I don't play Call of Duty, and also I still feel that Activision Blizzard is an absolutely shit show of a company that really shouldn't be publicised because they really need to sort their internal shit out.
I'll be happy. I won't have to play Call of Duty anymore. Yeah. My friends will be like, no, we can't play Call of Duty. I'll be, oh no, what a shame.
It'll be a good test because it'll be like, oh, we'll have to get an Xbox. No. I am not buying a friggin'
I'm not buying an Xbox for Call of Duty.
For Call of Duty.
That's not happening.
No.
Now, if you said Gears, if a new Gears came out, maybe.
And was actually good.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, here's an idea. If you did a remake or re-release of Lost Odyssey.
Yeah.
Segue back to what we were talking about 2 weeks ago.
I don't think they would do.
But let us get on to this week's news.
Let's get on to the news of this week. So, Ubisoft is developing an AI tool that aims to support scriptwriters. Now, I've seen other articles where it's come out and saying that it's actually the scriptwriter, the AI tool is actually going to write the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I think at the moment, I don't think the technology is there for it to write an entire story and have actual interesting characters.
As a person that whose whole 99.9% Twitter feed is literally just artists that I found really, really cool and followed.
Yeah.
I've been following the whole AI thing a little bit closer.
Oh yeah, I know.
The issues are this. One, it's basically AI has a lot of issues in regards to how it learns. It doesn't. An AI doesn't basically. It basically doesn't from scratch make something. It goes onto the internet and finds a whole bunch of shit, and then culminates it into something that seems believably made by a person.
Yeah,
and that's all. And it's also. It's not intelligence per se. It's a learning machine, and it basically just learns and becomes better at doing what it's programmed
this is what I mean of where I don't think they're going to be using an AI to write an entire story. I mean, it is Ubisoft, and Ubisoft stories are not exactly the most.
The issues that are coming up now are this sort of stuff where it's literally. Corporate are looking at it and going, do you know what? We could make an AI that will do all the work for us, and we won't have to pay staff. That's where this is coming from. And I don't care what anyone says. That's the end game. Literally, they want the senior management at Ubisoft and a lot of other corporate bloody tech companies are imagining a world where they don't have staff to pay. They have these AI machines that will make art and book covers and all this without actually knowing the consequences of that, which is one, it actually stagnates the artistic communities because it's not actually making anything really new. It's just copying off everything that's already come before it.
Yeah.
Now, yes, imitation and all that is in all forms of art. The usual trope of you cannot make a truly original story at all because every single story throughout the history of man has basically been told in one way or another, etc. is true. But there is always something very cold, I feel, from an AI... at the moment, from an AI generated anything, be it art, be it scripts. I mean, the most impressed I've ever been is the VTuber Neosama.
Yeah.
And even then, there's Vidal, I think is the creator who programs her.
Yeah.
You can probably say she's not perfect.
No.
She's been made to do some really...
She said some very strange things.
Yes. Which is just... But the thing is, that's the way the AI learns. And then you've got to go in and fix all the broken things that it shouldn't have done and all that.
Yeah.
But even then, it's the whole thing of doing AI stuff as an experiment, I don't see a problem with. My problems come from corporations doing this sort of stuff that Ubisoft's doing, and it is solely to do with they don't want to pay people.
Most likely. Because
people are now wanting an actual decent wage.
Yeah.
And it's they're oh, my profits won't be as big. Go F yourself. Here's an idea. You're a major multi-billion-dollar company.
So
investing something.
The idea for this is called Ubisoft Ghostwriter. It's an AI, and it's going to be used to generate a first draft for basically for in Assassin's Creed. There's always many people on the ground and stuff like that. You know, Watch Dogs. Actually, in most Ubisoft games, there's a lot of people
apart from the Far
ground.
Cry one. Apart from the Far
Cry, but you shouldn't really have to worry about Far Cry. Let's be honest. So the idea is that the AI is going to write the script for those NPCs. For just the odd people that are just walking around. You know, the random things that you hear people say when you're walking about in like GTA and that. It's basically that.
So they want to do that.
That's what they're saying this is for. Now, it could be what you're saying, that this is like the first step.
It is.
This is the first step. And to be honest with you, it would not surprise me if in 6 months, maybe to a year, we find out that this new game is going to be completely written by an AI.
Yeah.
That wouldn't surprise me in the least. But for the meantime, at the moment,
that's what they're planning to do.
Yeah,
right
we don't have I don't think we have an AI that's smart enough that could write an entire story.
So here's my point with this, right? In the Ubisoft games like Watch Dogs and that, do you see a problem with the way it's working at the moment?
What do you mean?
As in the way like the characters that are just walking around, the way they interact with the world, and you hear like little snippets and that.
Yeah,
there's no problem. You don't see an issue. You don't see, and I understand that Ubisoft have got it's very time consuming. The key issue I want to point out is, it doesn't matter how much AI you put into that. If your game sucks, it doesn't matter. So why are you investing money in something that hasn't actually been tested or proven yet, and not investing in actually making a decent game?
I was going to get to that.
I know you were.
I was just talking about, like, at the moment, it's just... like, at the moment, Ubisoft, I think, has much bigger problems than the random NPCs that shout things at you when you walk along. Number one, I don't think they've made a decent game for the last... I'm going to say 4 years. At least one that I can remember.
Probably, arguably, Odyssey is the last decent one, because
that was not a good game. That is not a good game.
I understand that,
and I will challenge anybody.
I'm just going off critically acclaimed rating wise.
Well, Valhalla then, because Valhalla did.
Let me finish. And publicly, community agreed upon.
Oh, that it's good.
That it's it's not bad. Is Odyssey's the last one? Because Phoenix was not really. It basically was too much like Odyssey / Origins and.
You mean Valhalla?
No, Phoenix Rising.
Phoenix Rising. Which
the anime style one that they had. You had it on. You've got it.
Have I?
Yes.
I can't even remember it.
Very Greek influenced.
Oh, Immortals.
Yeah,
they changed the name of Immortals. Phoenix Rising. Right, there we go. Yes, I've got it. Yeah, it's an okay game. It's better. To be honest with you, it's better because it's got better puzzles.
Yeah,
it's probably one of their better games.
But it was the problem with that was it was too much like.
No, the problem is that it is a Ubisoft open world game.
Yeah, and it came literally months after Odyssey. Wasn't that long after Odyssey that it came out.
Yeah.
So you're talking about one open world game set in the Greek world, and another open world game set in the Greek mythology world, which that other open world game was laying into
as well.
So it's like, really. Yeah. Really? I'm getting it's almost the same as when they gloriously announced, we've got a license to do an open world Star Wars game.
Really?
Your Beyond Good and Evil 2 trailers have all had the whole Star Wars galaxy vibe on it. What is wrong with you? I think probably Odyssey is the last one that you could argue is great, because Valhalla was basically
it was just a reskin.
Yeah, it was a reskin. It was buggy as hell, to the point where a lot of people were literally hard locked.
Yeah.
Into a problem.
Yeah. Also, it didn't make any sense, because Odyssey didn't even make any sense. You've got assassins in the name, and yet you do no
assassinations.
You don't do anything to do with assassinations.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at least Origins, you were an assassin.
Yeah.
Like, that was your job.
Yeah. I mean, hell, in Vikings Valhalla, they decided, do you know what we're going to do? We're going to change the placement of the frigging assassin blade.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is... That is not the problem your game series has right now. Also, you decided to do a medieval... early medieval Viking game and decided that the longsword wasn't, or even the longsword was not a weapon that you were going to have in the game.
So yeah, they've also said about this tool that it was created hand in hand with scriptwriters to create more realistic NPC interactions by generating variations on a piece of dialogue. See how our terms will use AI to handle repetitive tasks and free time to work on other core elements. Which I suppose kind of works, but like...
You still have to have people voice line them.
Again, the problem isn't... The problem with the game...
It's not the random people talking.
It's not the random people talking, because let's be honest, you don't pay attention to them. Unless somebody says something really, really... outrageous.
The thing you do is go, oh, that was a nice bit of interaction. That was pretty cool.
Or it goes, did he just say that? And but that's really about it.
Yeah.
You don't really.
It adds an extra level of immersion.
Yeah.
But, like we said, the main issue with Ubisoft games at the moment isn't the immersion.
The problem is the games are all the same.
Yeah, the games are all the same. And also, do you know what's really, really, really immersion breaking? The UI of a Ubisoft game. Literally just a sea of text and fucking...
And logos.
Logos and maps and a compass with bits showing up fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
Like...
Why?
Like, just tone the fucking shit down. And then they had the audacity. I loved when Elden Ring got released and they lambasted it because it was like,
look at the UI.
Look
yeah,
at the UI.
It's very
minimalistic. Yes, I know. It's very minimalistic. That's the whole fucking point of it. I
like my open world games with very little UI. It's very good.
The whole point of that game, I've gone through Elden Ring multiple times of why Elden Ring is designed the way it is and the lore is done the way it is. So I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is Ghost of Tsushima. The game that out Assassin's Creed. Ghost of Tsushima has literally, when you're not in combat, no HUD. Why? Because you don't need it.
It's great. It's really, plus also getting rid of the UI with the health bar and that while you're not doing anything. It actually lets you look at the scenery. Yeah. You can stop and just look at how beautiful some games are.
And scan the horizon and go, ooh, what's that over there? Like, I love very intuitive HUDs. Dead Space being the number one. You learn very quickly what every little element that you see does and it is all in game. It's still one of the best UIs I've ever seen. And it just helps you blend in and immerse yourself in the game. And, you know, like I said, Ubisoft just throws a sea of text at you.
Yeah, just easier. Oh, look at all these logos. You need to collect 100 of these things. Why do I have to collect? That's another thing. Why do I have to collect 100?
Why is there 100? Why the arbitrary number of 100?
Why is it 100?
Why is it?
I collect 100 feathers. Why? Why am I collecting 100 feathers? Collect 100 pages. Why? Why am I collecting 100 pages? Like, get all these flags. Why am I collecting flags? What is going on? Why are people randomly planting flags in the middle of nowhere? What is going on with these things? Ubisoft just like
your UI needs a lot of work.
You've got other things that you need to work on. Like, first off, design a new game.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like make another Assassin's Creed that looks exactly like the last Assassin's Creed or Far Cry or any other game that you may make. I mean, actually make a brand new type of game.
Yeah, that isn't open. Hell, that isn't necessarily an open world game.
And don't jump on a bandwagon like you did with the Battle Royale one.
Yeah.
Actually, just sit down and be like, look, we need to make a new IP. What can we do?
Yeah. What's the idea?
Let's think of something. If you want to do bandwagon chasing, at the very moment and for a very long time now, everybody likes a very, very good story-driven single-player game. Focus on that.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
Yeah.
Lo and behold, shockingly enough, people actually like single-player driven narrative games.
Yeah. Work on that. Make an RPG. Actually try something different. I don't know. Just do something that actually
isn't a Ubisoft game.
Isn't the usual Ubisoft game.
Ubisoft open world collectathon with very, 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 very scripted and fucking seen from a mile away story beats.
Yeah. But I'll always praise Ubisoft for Assassin's Creed 2 and the whole Ezio trilogy.
Yeah.
I love those games. They really gave me the open world game experience that I'd never had before, and I loved them. And because of those games, I love open world games.
Yeah. The problem is that every single Ubisoft open world game is the same.
Is the same now, and other companies are now doing open world games much better than you.
Just
so either
take a look at Ghost of Tsushima, which had collectibles, and Elden Ring.
Yeah, Elden Ring. So either
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Horizon does it much better. So either rework your open world games, or make a new game.
Think of something else.
Yeah, there we go. Anyway, moving on. To be honest with you, after that, the rest of it's pretty good. It's all pretty good news.
Yeah.
In all honesty. We talked about, I think not the last one, but the one before. We talked about how Redfall might be, they stated.
Always online.
Always online.
Even when you're in single player. Because it's a looter shooter.
The developer Arcane apparently are working on a U-turn to this, so that the single player always online restriction is no longer there, which is good.
Yeah, that's a good development. I mean,
it's a development. It's a development that shouldn't be there in the first place.
No.
But the fact is that they've realised that maybe this is a stupid mistake, and it is.
It all depends on how hard baked that is in the game.
Yeah.
It does depend, which will determine how hard it is to put in a offline mode into it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, right? Elden Ring. All the Souls games, to be honest, they aren't necessarily supposed to be played online.
But you can play it offline.
But there is an offline option. You can actually, people aren't saying change the game to make sure single player is included all the time. No, what we're saying is give us the fucking option.
Yeah, basically just have it so if I buy the game and I'm playing the game, what happens if I don't know, my router goes?
Yeah. Or if you decide that the game isn't profitable enough, so you close the servers.
It's the big thing again for me against Destiny is that Destiny is an always online game.
Yeah.
You can't play it offline,
yeah.
which sucks. It's very, very stupid. I can kind of understand why, but at the same time, I'm just sort of I don't know.
Also, we have had experience of terrible internet with online node services.
Yeah.
It's fucking annoying. For example, during a Warzone, disconnecting.
Yeah.
In the middle of it.
Enough.
After fighting back from the brig.
The gulag.
From the gulag. And then
getting into the top 10.
And then as you're jumping from the plane from the gulag, you press the button to pull the parachute.
Yeah, it doesn't pull.
And it doesn't pull. Because your internet has just decided to fall on its arse and die.
Yeah. So I think them doing this U-turn on it, very good thing for players. It's still one of those things that bugs me about Live services, a lot of live services do it, where it's just like, oh, well, you have to always be online. No.
Here's the thing.
No, we
right?
don't.
Here's the thing, right? This is some of the things that I really get annoyed at. Right, these people who go, no, you should have the always online mode. You should always have the online mode. Will be the same people that'll go, well, there should be an easy mode for Elden Ring.
Or Dark Souls, yeah.
Or Dark Souls. Yeah. There should be an easy mode. And I'm like, you can't have both.
Just shut up. All right?
I agree with you. There should be an option. But...
I think the mic cut out there. So.
Oh.
It's fine. It's the volume's gone up a bit. And I don't know why. But it's fine.
We're peaking a little bit.
Yeah, so just pop it down a little bit.
There we go. See if that fixes it.
That'll be fine. Hey, look, if
we are the most professional professionals.
Nobody watches these videos anyway, so it's perfectly fine.
Perfectly
It's
fine.
okay. Back to this. Basically in an interview, they basically said that there are two ways developers could react to that. They could say, "Oh my God, you're always online. If you get on your stream and it's not online, you freak out. If you get on your Xbox and you can't get the latest patch or see what your friends are doing, you freak out. You want to be always online." But that response, I think, lacks empathy. There are people who live in places where there are outages, or their broadband is shitty, or they're competing with their family members because their mum's streaming a movie, or their brother's on another device. And so I think it's a legitimate critique.
Yeah,
which it is.
It is.
We do take a lot of we do take it with a lot of empathy. We listen, and we have already started work to address this in the future. We have to do some things like encrypt your save games and do a bunch of UI work to support it, and so we are looking into it. I'm not supposed to promise anything, but we're looking into and working actively towards fixing that in the future. So that's good. So in other words, but I don't know. Again, like,
just give us the friggin' option. There's no harm in giving an option. Because here's the thing about options. People can choose to use them or not. It's not that.
I think what he's on about mainly is more like save data. Because I'm assuming this is going to save to the cloud.
Yes. Right? Which is what the whole point of always online is.
Yeah.
So that it saves to the cloud.
Yeah.
What the issue is that if you lose your internet connection, there's a chance that the save could be corrupted and you are losing everything.
Well, that's true.
Now, yes, there is also if you save your side, there is that same risk, but the problem, the thing that you only have to worry about is your system failing, not your system or your internet. Like, it lessens the amount of things that can go wrong.
Yes.
Which makes it better. Unless you do something like NASA's what I do when I build a Kerbal Space rocket in Kerbal Space Program, which is have redundancies upon redundancies upon redundancies. Having less things to go wrong is always a good thing. But yeah, I understand part of it is that they want to encourage people to play in groups online. But, again, like he said, not everyone has an amazing internet connection. Look at the United States. The United States, despite the fact that it is ridiculously rich, and also the companies that are in charge of their rollout of fibre and all that are, pretty rich. Their internet sucks. For the money that is available, their internet is shit.
Yes. Yes, it is.
It is laughable.
So
that it has been allowed. Those little fiefdoms of broadband have been allowed to be made in that country. It's literally like, am I looking at an actual forward-thinking country, or am I looking at a medieval country with instead of lords we have CEOs?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what we've got now.
Yeah.
At least that's how it feels.
It does feel like that sometimes. Even here in the UK, it's like, for fuck's sake. But yeah, adding a offline mode is a good thing, and they should implement it, even if the original emphasis of the game is not that. It should always give the option.
So, moving on.
Moving on, indeed.
Here's something that I found quite interesting. So, how a video game has revolutionized the way farmers are buying tractors. Right, so, did you know that farmers are using Farming Simulator to test out tractors?
Until you told me, I was of the response of no.
No. But now you do know.
No. And this is
awesome.
Now, granted, this is from The Guardian,
this is The Guardian, yeah.
Which is a British press, which you have to take with a grain of salt, anything from any of the British press, because boy, do sometimes, one, do they not actually do their jobs right, and two, boy, is sometimes the slant on it so fucking ridiculous.
Are they unbelievably biased? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, they are.
To the point where it's almost comical.
So, tractors are commonly sold to farmers at agricultural fairs and announced in the trade press, but machinery makers are falling over themselves to get a slice of a much more unlikely advertising vehicle, the Farming Simulator video game. The developer, Giant Software, now receives hundreds of queries a year from manufacturers of equipment, from tractors and combine harvesters to trailers, balers and seed drills, about how they can feature in the game, where players create their own virtual farm. Farming Simulator is important enough that some firms even launch products at the same time as the game is updated. Search for news about Go Wheel, and you're just as likely to find details of the 9 products in the Farming Simulator update pack released last week as coverage of its hay balers in the real world. Giants, based in Switzerland, told The Observer that interest from manufacturers provides it with enough of a revenue stream to cover the cost of game development. So basically, these companies that are building equipment for farmers and that, they're paying...
Yeah.
They're paying the developers enough money so that...
So it's opposite to like what I believe Forza and Polyphony, Gran Turismo and do, which is they pay for a license to be able to put cars into games. The Farming Simulator are actually getting developed...
getting these companies to pay them.
Manufacturers to pay them to put their vehicles in the game. Now, some of you may go, is this going to be potentially a whole thing of like, well, we're paying you money, so you have to make our game, our vehicle good. So there is that kind of thing. There is that.
The main problem with that sort of thinking, though, is in the farming industry, like, your tools have to work.
Yeah. Like I was about to say that, like, it would break the game if they did that.
Yeah.
And would be a complete antithesis of what the game is actually about.
Yeah.
So, two things. One, it is one hell of a... what's the word again? It's a hell of a endorsement of the way they implement vehicles and their handling system, etc. That companies are willing to that farmers are actually using that to test out vehicles.
Yeah.
To see if they work for them. That's one hell of a compliment.
I have a friend that plays Farming Simulator, and he's absolutely bonkers for it. Like, it's so much so that, like, we were meant to meet you up a couple of weeks ago. And he was late
because he was playing
Farming Simulator because he had to plough his field.
To be honest, I have got the free, when it was the free monthly game.
I didn't download it. I added it to the library when it was the free monthly game. Yes.
I think I downloaded it. I believe I actually downloaded it. I think it's only Farming Simulator.
I think it's 19.
19
I think it was
or
19.
20. No, it might have been 2020.
Yeah, it might have been.
Either way, it's not the most recent.
I've got a Farming Simulator game somewhere
in the list.
Over there.
In these piles.
There's the Farming Simulator, because I was like, all right, I'll jump on with you, because he was like, oh, that's co-op. We can play that game. And I was like, oh, all right, then fine. And I got to the menu, and I was just like, I have no idea what I'm looking at. What is this?
It is a simulator first.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a simulator first. Like you have to know what you're looking at.
It's not like here's the thing, right? There were two types of simulators. There are the likes of Microsoft Flight Simulator, which this falls into, which is like it takes everything seriously. It does all the bells and whistles, and it makes it as realistic and as a simulation as possible. Then there's the shit that's on Steam.
And
that claims to be a simulator.
Then there's, to be fair, there's Goat Simulator.
Yeah.
Which is just amazing.
No. Goat Simulator is actually a good game, though. I'm on about
the really bad ones.
The really bad, shitty simulators.
Anyway.
That are usually like airport driver simulator or stuff like that.
So, interviewing Wolfgang Ebert, I hope I said his name right. He is basically the marketing manager for Giant Games, who make the thing. In the beginning, we had to ask manufacturers to be included in the game. Today, we have to consider who we can integrate and what benefit there is to the game. We have many brands writing to be included. Players begin with a barn, some equipment and a little land. They need to grow food, sell it, expand their farms and buy better gear. Part of the appeal of farming simulator series like Microsoft Flight Simulator or the Formula 1 racing games comes from the realism of the experience, yet would-be pilots and drivers are unlikely to be able to afford a jumbo jet or a racing car, while there are plenty of farmers who have bought one of the 25 million copies sold who can potentially field test a new tractor in the game, making it a much more viable marketing tool, which is very true.
So, as, I don't know. Actually, Codemasters Formula 1 does actually, when you turn all the assistants off, is pretty close to a proper simulation. I can honestly say, as a person who has played the Formula 1 games up until the last one, just because things got in the way and didn't have money or time.
Yeah.
And the My Team mode is so fun, getting like a car that is literally like only battling like the Williams at the back, to slowly like get up to the point where we're battling for points, or we're battling for podiums, or we're battling for championships. It's really fun, and like the whole thing of like starting off small and just getting that little snowball rolling, and then it building and building and building and building, and then just getting into the routine of getting bigger and bigger. It is really, really fun.
Yeah, but as the point stands, like you can't go off and afford a Formula 1 car.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas this,
that's what I'm saying. It gives you the ability to like have that sort of experience, but without actually the ridiculous financial.
Yeah. So this is like I only found this out today. Yeah. That they were doing this. And I'm just like, I want to bring this in.
Yeah,
I want to talk about this. This is really cool.
It is really cool. And like I said, it's a compliment and a good accommodation. Not accommodation. Words fail me. But it's a good like advertisement for Farming Simulator, because it's like, yes, Farming Simulator is that good. Farmers use it to test out new vehicles.
Yeah.
Before they buy them, like,
which is just amazing. That's really, really good.
It is really, really good. And kudos to what's the company?
Giant Software.
Giant Software. Congratulations, you've got made your game. One, made your game so good that farmers use it to test stuff, and two, popular.
These are the same guys that make those Sherlock games. Just in case you were wondering. Yeah.
Look, we can criticise when we criticise, but you know, here's
the other thing. Oh no, I'm not. I like the Sherlock games. I'm not criticising.
Some people.
Here's the other thing. Right, they've made this game that good. There's actually an esport around Farming Simulator. It's actually an esport now.
Oh my god!
There's like tournaments, like amateur tournaments and stuff like that.
Fantastic.
Honestly, you're gonna get to Evo one day, and Farming Simulator is gonna be there.
Yeah, you know, like one of the outside.
Yeah, Farming Simulator tournament's gonna be there. Like I'm telling you now, it's gonna be there.
Well, Evo is basically beat 'em ups, but.
Yeah, I know, but this is what I'm saying. Like, it's going to be off to the side somewhere. Yeah, you're going to be going to Evo. I was going to say emo there. Evo, and then you're going to turn around and there'll be a Farming Simulator tournament right there.
Just in one of the offshoot venues,
yeah. Okay.
I mean, why not?
So yeah. So right. Anyway, on to this was the big news for me personally for the last 2 weeks. This is really big. Although I don't collect it as much as I probably would like.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big Warhammer 40k nerd.
Yes.
I really like Warhammer 40k.
As a person that is trying desperately to get as many of the Horus Heresy and Siege of Terror books, I agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, basically this week, a couple of days ago, I watched it. It was very good. I was very happy. Still probably can't afford a lot of the stuff, but everything looked fucking cool. They announced Warhammer 40k 10th edition, which is absolutely fantastic. By the looks of things, so we'll go off of what 10th edition mainly is going to be about. At least
a pretty big few months for Games
Warhammer.
Workshop
Yeah,
on Warhammer.
yeah.
Like, we've had the announcement that Henry Cavill's leading a series and movie franchise for 40k.
I think Games Workshop Plus actually raised subscriptions by quite a fair bit. Mm-hmm. So what I mean by that, I don't mean like price. I mean they got more subscribers.
Yeah, the number of people subscribing has actually increased,
actually raised by
the price.
So that's pretty good for them.
And the from what you've been telling me, what they're trying to do is streamline the rules.
By the looks of things for 10th edition. So I've got the 9th edition book right in front of us, and you can agree with me.
Pretty big.
It's a pretty big book.
It is a pretty big book. It's around about the same size as my 4th edition hardback as well.
Yeah. To be honest, you kind of have to walk around if you want to go to a tournament or something like that. You kind of have to walk around
with that book. Yeah.
And
plus the
you don't have to walk around with the codex anymore.
I know you don't have to anymore, but like, especially with mine, you would have to also walk around with whichever codex.
I mean, you're going to have to maybe look in getting new codexes because
all my codexes are
pretty much
now.
like they're
done.
There's
been at least each race has had one new codex for the ones I've got. I think I've got all of them. I think I did actually have that because you got Chaos.
I got Chaos.
I had Space Marines. You got Tau. I got Necrons.
I got the Grey Knights.
Oh, the only one I didn't have is Orcs.
Yes,
that's the only one I didn't have.
Yes. But so just recently they announced, obviously 10th edition. They had this big CGI video for it, which looked really fucking cool. Tyranids are going to be at least in the lore side. Tyranids are going to be the big bad.
So the stuff that's happening now will
the things that's going to happen now is the Arks of Omen.
Yeah.
When that ends is pretty much when the 10th edition is going to be released, and that's when this whole thing with the Tyranids is happening.
Yeah.
They showed off new models.
Yeah.
Which you will be quite like because I know you like the Terminators.
Yes.
The Terminators are actually going to go back to like the old school look, so they're big and bulky, and they've got like the giant. They've got the giant hands, and they've got like the tusks coming out of the helmet and stuff like that.
Give me those guys. Those old school Terminator models. They felt intimidating.
They looked the part. They
looked like 6 guys who were just going to stand there, take everything the enemy threw at them, slowly walk to the enemy, and then just murder them.
There's obviously with Tyranids being the big bad for this edition,
they're going to get a whole new stuff.
Tyranids are getting, I think there's 10 new models. I think even they're actually getting a character.
I was about to say what they really need for Tyranids is actual like characters, because even now, like they haven't got that many.
I think they only
there's
have
old One Eye. Yeah, there's old One Eye. There's the worm.
Yeah.
But there's not that many. So getting actual like not maybe necessarily named characters, because that doesn't fit in with the Tyranids lore, but getting like special type of Tyranids that would through their use become like these specialised, and they would have their own type of name to them. Like, and Imperial Guardsmen would look at it and go, "Oh my god, it's blah blah blah."
Yeah.
Instead of just, "Oh, it's a hive tyrant." Which one? Which type? Is it a flying one, a shooty one, a melee one?
Yeah. So we've got that coming forward. Also, the main big deal of this edition is the fact that you're going to be able to streamline it onto basically 2 sides of an A4 piece of paper.
Yeah.
That's basically...
I imagine there'll be a PDF of that for people to download and...
Yeah, the other thing is that, like, you... Probably, but also what you can get right now is you can get battle cards. So basically, it's a deck of cards, but it's got all the information for each unit, characters.
So sort of like what you can get with Dungeons and Dragons, they can have like
pretty much
spell lists, in decks, decks and character decks and all.
Pretty much, but this has like all the details that you need for units and stuff like that. So there's that as well. But I think what the core sheet is,
it makes it more
the core sheet is going to be like what this army does, what abilities it can have, and stuff like that. Because the battle cards don't actually have that sort of stuff. It's just information and details on the units and stuff like that. Not the whole thing. They've also what else? That was only with the people. So what they do at like Warhammer Con and this one where it was revealed at Adepticon is they'll do like, so they showed off the new trailer for the new thing where they showed Guilliman basically so the whole trailer is Guilliman basically saying that the universe is burning and we're here saying glory to mankind and victory and we're winning all the time, when no, we're not. Everything's burning to the ground, we're all dying constantly, and all you absolute insane people are screaming victory. Thanks for that. Great. I
have to admit, I do love the stories that have come out when they reintroduced Guilliman, and like he just turned up at Terror and went, "What the fuck are you all doing?" Yeah,
which is why, because with the arcs at the moment, we're getting Lionel Johnson, which is like
he's the second loyalist
Primarch, and he looks badass.
He looks fucking amazing.
He looks awesome. The fact that he's coming back is like it is a big deal.
Oh yeah.
I'm mainly looking forward to it because, like,
Guilliman's pragmatic.
is practical. Yeah, he's a practical person. Yeah. He's just like, okay, so I don't really like the way the Imperium's going, but this is literally the only thing holding it all together. So I kind of
until we deal with the shit that's happening now, I'm going to deal with your shit later.
Yeah. Lionel Johnson is not that.
No.
Lionel Johnson will come along and be like, no, this is all fucking wrong.
This is not what my father...
This is all bullshit and we're dealing with this bullshit now. So I kind of looking forward to when they both meet.
Yeah, and also Lionel Johnson, like, this... Everyone knows who knows 40k lore. The chapters take after the Primarchs. So the Dark Angels have their own agenda and everything because Lionel Johnson had his own agenda in everything.
And he's also a paranoid schizophrenic.
Yeah.
Well, he's not schizophrenic, but he's paranoid.
He's paranoid. He is actually paranoid.
He's paranoid about everything.
So Lionel Johnson is literally going to be, no, you don't understand. All this can go the fuck away. And not tomorrow, now. The Dark Angels are not against loyalist on loyalist fire. I'm just going to leave that there. I'm just going to put that there and leave it and just...
I know. I generally think this is going to... I think we're going to have like a little civil war between...
I don't think it's going to be a civil war, but I think we're going to get to the point... You know when in movies and that, where the two good guys end up fighting each other for whatever reason.
Well, good guys is a very strong word to use for these people.
You know what I mean? The protagonists end up fighting each other for whatever reason, and then they realize and go, yeah, we can't keep doing this, can we? Nope. We're going to have to end this now. Yep. Deal with the actual problem. Yep.
Players would usually walk around with the 9th edition rule set, needed to lug around multiple hardback books, sometimes needing 3 or 4 such books on each side of the table just to play a single game.
Yes.
Yes.
As we have played a couple of games of Warhammer, and yes.
Yes. That type of rule sprawl has not only raised the complexity of 40k, but also the cost of entering the hobby in the first place, which is why Arcs of Omen is the way it is. The actual Arcs of Omen game, it's very, very small. It's a very small scale
game.
It's specifically designed for new players.
Yeah, they've been trying desperately to make like a small version of 40k to get people into it. And they had Death Squad and a few other things. So, yes, making it smaller is good. It still doesn't solve the main underlying problem, which is your models are expensive as fucking hell.
Yes. So, 10th edition hopes to do away with that. At the core of this transition is something called a datasheet. Effectively, a large note card that will contain all of the rules needed to run a single unit of miniatures at the table. The format should be familiar to players of Warhammer Age of Sigmar, because this was literally the reason why Age of Sigmar was done.
Well, no, right. They killed... Right, basically, Warhammer, the old world...
Yeah.
Didn't make enough money. So they killed it.
Yeah.
Right? Then, the entire Warhammer community went, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, pretty much.
And they went, here's Age of Sigmar. And they've rushed it out so much that they didn't actually have, like, stats balancing or anything. I mean, granted, Warhammer 40k has been notoriously unbalanced for a long time as well.
Yeah, just look at the Space Marines.
For example, 4th edition Necrons were, when they did the re-release of the Necrons, were broken as hell. And the person who made the rule sets at that time has later on, after leaving, literally admitted, yeah, I made Necrons broken because I liked them.
Yeah.
That's, so, like... Not only did you have the ridiculous cost of the models, the fact that you had to lug around like 5 books everywhere,
and a giant case of
models, and also like depending on the model, you couldn't just put them into a case.
Yeah,
it'd have to be foam packed, which is even more expensive. And also the whole cost of the models themselves. Only then to turn up and have a Necron army just destroy everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's kind of depressing.
All the additional rules that will control how a player's army, now called a detachment, will behave fits on a single 2-page spread of a single book, which is very good. It works in a one-on-one out system. It's at Games Workshop Global Events Executive Michael Brandt. If you want to run a Space Marine Scout Company or a Space Marine Battle Company, you're going to take one of those pages as your spread. You're not going to combine a bunch of things and end up with pages and pages and pages of rules. It also makes it very easy to share your rules with your opponent before you start the game.
It also makes it easier to balance because then you know the variations of the unit compositions that you could. That could potentially be fielded. You lessen the amount of variety, which is a good thing in one sense in terms of balance. In another thing, like expression of like, but I want all my things to have this weapon, but I'm sure like there may be things to be put in place on that because you could have like salamander specifics.
Yeah,
which means every unit gets a flamethrower.
That's what they're doing with the codexes. So I'm assuming that's eventually going to happen because we just had the World Eaters codex, which I've just bought.
The issue with that is that instead of having one codex for Space Marines, you now have a codex for every single chapter.
The thing is, like, I would say that's a problem. Back in the day, but now because they've literally made all the chapters and all the let's say all the legions, all 18 legions. They've made them so different from each other. Like back then, it was literally like, your Space Marines they're just pink. That's the only difference.
Yes.
Whereas now is your legion is
especially
the World Eaters.
The fact that they've like done like the Ultramarines they've got since they've started doing codexes for the individual chapters. The code they've actually and the new models that they've brought out for them, they are giving each of the chapters their own unique flavour.
Which is really what this should be.
Yeah.
If you think about it. Because, like, I mean, look at it back in the day. It was literally, I think, the Dark Angels that really only had a separate aesthetic from everybody else in the Space Marines.
Like this, and the separate aesthetic for most of them was like, this, you will get a free unit of this class.
Yeah.
Type.
And
for example, the Salamander's got a flamethrower unit.
And for Chaos was just, the Space Marines with spikes on. That was literally it.
Yeah.
And so...
It was... I am actually looking forward to the Chaos chapters getting...
If I'm honest, we need more... Like, I can't believe I'm saying this.
New models.
We need more Space Marines to get... Well, more Space Marine Legions to get their own codexes. Because I think for Chaos, Death Guard's got one.
Death Guard's got one. I know, but the thing is, I'm not on about codexes. I'm on about models. Like, there needs to be new Noise Marines.
Yes, well, that's going to happen.
Because I'm pretty sure that's still the metal models.
Yes, that will happen once we get the Emperor's Children Codex.
Yeah.
Once that gets announced, that's when we're going to get new
Noise Marines.
Noise Marines. Because it happened with the Death Guard with the Plague Marines.
There'll be a new model of Lucius the Eternal.
Yes, and hopefully he can get some new lore where he's not just a basic bitch of just, I'm going to lose but I'll still win.
Yeah. Even when I lose, I still win because I possess the person who defeated
Which I think is a really cool thing. I just think, like, you've just made him a loser in the story. But anyway, the World Eaters have now got their own, other than just the Khorne Berserkers, we've got more units for the World Eaters, which is much better. Plus, we've also got Angron, my boy. And Angron is, I don't care. Angron is best. Angron is the best Primarch. I do not care.
I mean,
he has an axe called Bone Splitter.
Yes.
That's all I need. I don't need anything else.
Well, there is the feat of destroying on his own in space.
Oh yeah, just ripping through Imperial ships, just ripping through them like they're nothing. But no,
and they're not even the small ones. They're the battleships.
The Thousand Suns got like a big update with their codex because if you've noticed, you've got there's two Thousand Sun legions now. Yeah. Basically, there's the ones that follow Ahriman and there's the ones that follow Magnus. Because Magnus is back.
Because Ahriman got expelled.
Yep. Like I said, with the Death Guard got new models because Mortarion came back, and Mortarion looks like a badass.
Also, let's be honest, Mortarion, my god, the dude looks amazing.
He does, even though he is a smelly Mothman. He looks badass.
I mean, he just doesn't look as.
The thing is,
doesn't look as metal as Angron. No, Angron is just literally like you could put Angron in Doom. And he would not look out of place.
No, he wouldn't. He would not. But the thing is, I think because everybody wants a Fulgrim model.
Yeah.
Everybody who plays Chaos, like, and I'm one of these people. Like, you want it. You want to see Fulgrim. Like, we all want to see.
We want to see
he's that narcissistic prick that everybody just loves for some strange reason.
They either love him or they love to hate him.
Yeah. He's just that guy.
I look at Fulgrim and going, "You narcissistic little bastard." Do you know what? I'm just gonna take these Grey Knight Terminators and I'm just gonna psychic lance you straight back to the wall.
Yeah. So because I think Games Workshop know this. Right, they know this. So they're like, no,
he's going to be the last of the four.
He's going to be the last. He is the last of the major four. I actually think he's going to be
the last.
I think he's probably going to be the last Chaos.
I'm trying to think. Right, we're probably going to get Perturbo.
We're going to get Perturbo because Perturbo looks awesome in his pictures that we've seen. Like the one picture that we've seen. And I'm not even sure that's an official art.
No.
But he looks awesome.
I think it's alright. I don't want Perturbo because it's Perturbo. I want Perturbo for his fucking Iron Guard.
Yeah.
The fucking robotic bodyguards he has. Like, they look... Every description of them are badass as hell.
I'm trying to think, are there any other Chaos
Primarchs that we would like to see?
We might get Omegon. Alpha Legions.
Oh, Omegon, yeah.
Who knows? But to be fair, like...
Is it Omegon or is it Alphaeus? We don't know.
To bring him in would defeat the object of the Alpha Legion.
Yeah, because they're all
Omnigon.
They're all Omega or Alpharis.
Or whoever it is who's leading the fucking Alpha Legion.
That's the thing. He is.
He is, yes.
Do you know what?
That's the Terminator. That's the new Terminator.
They're back to the old school of big, bulky, and just these are here to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing you can do about it. So whatever short lifespan you have left, make the most of it.
I am a little bit more interested in what like the Xenos factions are going to get. Like, I would like to see, because I know what the Tyranids are going to get, because we saw that. But I would like to see, are the Orcs going to get something new? Are the Eldar going to get... The Eldar need love. The Eldar, out of all the factions...
I know, because they've not had that much change since, like, first edition, if I can remember correctly. They've had, like, little tweaks of that, like, for example, Magnan Ra.
Yeah.
But, have used... I mean...
And Kane.
Kane, but... Magnan Ra, you don't need to change him. He looks badass as is. Just make a plastic model of that, please.
Like, I think Eldar, out of all of them, are the ones that need the most love, especially when it comes to the models.
It's either the Eldar or the Dark Eldar. Or actually, both of them at the same time.
Both of them. I think they need the most love when it comes to the actual models.
Yeah.
I think you can move away from the Imperium for a bit. I mean, have you seen the Sisters of Battle models?
I know.
Like, they're awesome.
Like, the vast majority of Imperium units, you can, unless it's a Space Marine chapter that you haven't.
Yeah, unless you're going to bring back one of the ones that like are
that haven't had a codex yet, like for Salamanders, for example.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Then fine. But the only other one I would probably say is the Imperial Guard, but that would take it away from the whole point of the Imperial Guard, which is literally just the mass of humanity.
Yeah,
it's like everything looks the same. Why? Because it's humans. It's just a sea of humans.
Yeah, and also like the Imperial Guard are like I don't say this like as in that they are this, but the Imperial Guard in lore are shit.
They're the cannon fodder.
They're shit. A lot of them die.
Like, unless they are named units,
they're probably going to die.
Like the Cadian 101st or the...
I mean, to be fair, considering what happened, even the Cadian 101st...
Yeah, but the thing is always like the fact that they are revered so much, they do actually have like their own unique units and all that.
What I was going to say is like, even given what's happened, the Canadian 101st, they're dead.
True. I'm trying to think.
There's the jungle boys.
Yeah, I can't
remember their name, but they.
Then there's the what's their name? The ones that are like they look really German.
Yeah.
And have all the gas masks.
Yeah.
Them, I can't remember what they're called.
There's the Russian ones.
Yeah.
I can't remember their name ones, but they're the ones that they live on that frozen planet.
Yeah.
Which is just like, okay then. And then there's obviously the which one? The ones that are basically based on the French.
Yes.
With the shiny armour and all that sort of stuff. And the ones who actually don't do a lot of fighting.
But here's the thing, right? Like, even though like they are like they're supposed to like just blend into one another, which is the whole point of the Imperial Guard, because it's literally like, there's millions upon millions of them. We're not going to individually, uniquely make every single planet unique and everything. It's like unless it's got a practical use, they're getting bog standard shit.
Yeah.
But the plus side to that is, see this giant Baneblade? You get that.
Yeah. You get a lot of tanks.
You get a lot of tanks.
You get a lot of them. So yeah, maybe Imperial Guard could do with a bit of love.
Maybe,
but I don't think...
Personally,
I do believe the Eldar are the ones that need love the most. Both Eldar and Dark Eldar. Because, like, they take a lot of L's in the lore.
I mean, we're going to have... The Necrons have just recently had a massive update to them. I think we know Tau... They've got something in works for Tau.
Well, it's not Tau...
Enclaves.
It's not Tau specifically, it's the Farsight Enclaves that are getting some new stuff. But other than that, not much. So yeah,
I would probably
Eldar
say
eat them off.
orcs probably will get some.
Orcs will probably get something. Oh, orcs always get something.
Yeah, they always do. But also, like, the whole point of the orcs is they just go and fight wherever the biggest fight is. So
That's why nobody likes the orcs in lore. Like, we love the orcs. But not in lore, nobody likes the orcs because
Daka!
all they do is fight, and it's just non-stop, and it's just like, oh my god, please just stop.
Which is actually during the tear throughout the galaxy, the orcs decided, you know what? There's a big fight there. Let's all go there.
Yep, a lot of the orcs went into the warp
And just are completely fighting.
and now just fighting demons constantly.
There's a theory that the orcs are actually like an elemental force because one, they are very hard to corrupt by chaos.
Yes.
And two, their very nature is that when chaos shows up, they're gonna go and fight it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, as much as I would love that to be true, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's not, unfortunately.
I know,
there's enough reasons as to why the orcs are
I know,
the way they are.
but like it is a nice thing.
It is a nice thing. It's like, yeah, that's great. It's funny.
Yeah.
It's a funny little
It's
thing.
like, yeah, Chaos wants to do all this shit, and this just bunch of orcs that
These
just
absolute morons.
who believe so hard that red makes things go faster that they actually go faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, are just putting a screw in every single plan. I love the fact that it looks so bad at some points for the Imperium, right? In the lore, the current lore at the moment, what's going on, and I'm like, yeah, but Chaos isn't going to win.
Oh no, Chaos isn't.
Chaos isn't going to win, and people are, what do you mean? Well, simple. As soon as one of those Chaos Guards gets on the verge of victory, one of the other three is going to stab him in the back.
Oh yeah.
Most likely to Zeke.
Yeah, well, it's the Great Game.
Yeah.
Between the four gods. I mean,
Most likely.
just recently in the latest Arx and Omen book, which is Vashdor, basically the Chaos Gods got wind of what Vashdor's doing, and in the middle. So basically, do you know what the Rock is?
Yeah, I think I do. Yeah,
It's where Lionel Johnson is.
Yeah. It's one of the last remaining things of Caliban.
Yeah, it's the Dark Angels.
What remains?
Big thing.
It's one that there's literally two pieces of Caliban capable of holding, well, not sustaining life, but people can actually, walk on it.
Yeah. So
There's the Rock, and I can't remember the other places.
The Rock is where the Dark Angels' home base is.
Yeah.
Right? And Vashdor and his army of demons, invade, and they get very, very far. They actually get very close to whatever it is they're looking for, an artifact, which I do believe is in basically the Dark Angels version of the Black Library.
Yeah.
Right? So he's getting very close, and then all of a sudden, the Word Bearers show up.
Oh, those assholes.
Yeah, the Word Bearers show up, and I actually think it is the leader of the Word Bearers that show up. Not Logar, his like...
Oh, the old... Yeah, I know who... I can't remember his name.
His name always... Because I don't like the Word Bearers, so the names... Other than Logar, the names I just don't. I don't remember them.
No, I don't... Yeah, I literally care very little for the Word Bearers.
The Word Bearers... Nobody likes the Word Bearers.
No one likes them.
So they show up, and they start fighting... So it basically ends up as a three-way battle between the Dark Angels, Vashdor's demons of Vashdor, and the Word Bearers. And they're all fighting each other. So, yeah. I kind of understand why Lionel Johnson wakes up.
Yeah. I was about to say, into this mix, a very angry Primarch wakes up.
He doesn't wake up in the book, at least not there. I'm assuming he's gonna wake up in not the next book, because the next book is Farsight, which is coming out very soon. The book after, so not next month, the month after. So yeah, woohoo! But yeah, the Chaos are always fighting each other, which is just like I love Abaddon. I don't care what anybody says. Abaddon is the best.
Yeah.
After Angron, because Angron's my boy.
So
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't go against
Going back
Angron.
to the whole thing of Chaos, like stabbing each other in the back, so they'll never actually ever win. I honestly believe they deliberately fucked over Horus in the Heresy.
Probably.
Hence the reason why he got killed.
Probably.
Because it's like,
Well,
wait,
by the end of it, Horus is basically, he's not even Horus anymore. He's just like a husk containing all the chaos power.
The Siege of Terror, I think I'm 3 books into the Siege of Terror, and like Horus is, the descriptions of Horus is like, yeah, he's not doing well.
He's not Horus.
But
which is why I love Abaddon.
The whole thing of the Siege of Terror is like on the verge of victory. Horus lowers the shields of his battleship, and that's what allows the Emperor, Sanguinius, and a strike team to launch onto Horus's ship and fight their way to Horus. And here's some of the best lore. Like during the fight between the Emperor and Horus is about to kill the Emperor, and a normal human, takes the blow. Now, granted, there's nothing left of that human.
Well, of course,
because we're talking about a fucking Primarch and demigod hitting someone. But it's what gives the Emperor enough time to actually deal the killing blow to, which is an amazing bit of lore. I think they change it in the Siege of Terror, but I haven't gotten to that bit yet, so I don't know.
Oh, it'll be in the last book.
Yeah, it will be in the last book, but I'm slowly working my way there.
Yeah.
But
I think should we move on? Is there
I think the whole streamlining is a good thing, because it means that people don't have to lug around fucking suitcases of books just to play one game, because I don't think many people have enough space to have multiple armies stored in their house.
Yeah.
And
secondly,
it's going to solve a lot of problems, but they still need to solve the big one, which is your models are expensive as hell.
Yeah, it is. It is very, very expensive.
It is, and that is the number one hurdle. Isn't the rule sets, although that is one of them. The number one hurdle is the price of actually buying an army. And because you can't just buy an army, you then have to assemble it, and then you have to paint it, which a lot of people, one, don't have the time anymore to do, and two, those people that have the time don't have the money to buy the army.
Right.
We know. We've been in both those situations.
I'm in that situation now.
Yeah.
I've just bought the World Eaters Codex.
Yeah.
That comes tomorrow.
Sweet.
I'm just sort of like...
You're going to look at Angron's stat sheet.
I'm going to look at Angron's stat sheet and be like, yes, I must have Angron.
Oh. So, Angron's appeared in the battlefield. So, what are you going to do to stop him? Try and stay out of his way.
Pretty much. I'm hoping that if I get behind him, he'll turn around and just keep going forward.
Yeah. Point him towards a insignificant part of the army that is solely there just to die. That's my plan.
Right.
I don't even think the cannon of a Baneblade would actually stop Angron.
Well, I mean,
banish him to the warp, maybe. But
if it's unscripted with some sort of holy text, it will do something. If not,
I mean, the problem is,
no.
The problem is, one, it'd have to actually be probably scripted by actual Inquisitors fully faithful in the Emperor, and two, you still have to hit the fucking thing.
That's very true. And he moves very fast.
And Angron is probably OP as hell, that he can probably do the whole thing of, I'm just going to deflect the bullet.
Yeah.
The bullet's the size of a house. I don't care. I'm Angron. I can deflect the bullets.
I love Angron. Oh. Angron's so fucking cool. I don't care what anybody says. I know everybody says, he's just an angry man. Yeah. Yeah, he is.
He is a very...
Kratos was also a very angry man.
And
look how badass Kratos was.
Yeah, and still is badass, even though he's not as angry. I mean, hell, as a person who is really a big fan of the Hulk is just a really angry person that just wants to be left alone. That still doesn't stop me from wanting the big green guy to win every single fight.
And smash everything that he sees.
Yes. I just want to see Hulk smash.
Yeah.
Because
I just want to see Angron.
Usually, 99% of the time, the people who are getting Hulk smashed deserve it.
I just want to see Angron destroy everything.
I know.
Like, what's not to like?
It's the joy of knowing what's going to happen, and yet it's still being fun to watch.
Yeah. That was a very long tangent.
Yeah,
well, I mean, it was a tangent, but it wasn't.
We were still talking about 40k and the whole thing, and we don't get to talk about 40k a lot, so...
Yeah.
Because usually Games Workshop tend to be a bit of an arsehole.
Yeah, and also they don't really... There's not a lot of Warhammer games that we can talk about.
No, although Warhammer Total War 3... has just released a patch that means you don't need Warhammer 1 or Total War 1 and 2 to have the Immortal Empire campaign.
Yeah.
Which is pretty poggers.
I mean, you do have to have the DLC, the Chaos Dwarfs. You do have to get that.
Yes.
Yes. But that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
A DLC, well, depending on if you can get them on sale, but a DLC usually is a lot cheaper than 2 full fucking games.
That's very true. That is very true indeed. Right.
And that map now is just absolutely
it's humongous.
ginormous.
How are you supposed to finish that?
Well, the thing is, though, the campaign, the individual factions' goals aren't conquer the entire world, which you could probably do as well. But
it'll be one of those like you complete the goal and then you get to decide do you want to carry on and
or
do you want
or faction something has completed their goal and won the campaign. Do you want to continue? Yes. Why? Because this giant army of Khorne berserkers
is now going to kill all those people over there.
all these what are they Khorne blood? This giant army of bloodletters of Khorne with that bloodthirster.
Yeah.
Is well, it's on a rampage. I kind of enjoy watching it on a rampage, and I just want to see how far it gets into that poor Dwarven Kingdom's territory.
Yeah, right. Moving on. Right, so we have a list of at least the biggest. These are the quote-unquote biggest games that are coming out in April. The big one will be, of course, Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
I liked Fallen Order, so I'm gonna get this and probably enjoy it as well.
It looks alright. It doesn't look.
My one thing is like, how the fuck is he still alive? Like, Vader knows he exists.
Yeah, I know.
He knows he exists, and it isn't like he's gone fucking just disappeared off the face of the galaxy. Like, he's still using his Jedi powers. It's like, you are literally spitting in Vader's face. You are literally daring him.
He's going to die.
Yeah, he is going to die
in one of these games.
When they decide that his story ends, he is dying, because there's no way in hell Vader is going to let anyone witness him and survive, especially if they're even if he wasn't a fully fledged Jedi, someone with Jedi powers. No, that's not happening. And 2, especially when the person continues using said force powers after said encounter. I was like, yeah, no, I want to know how you think, how his brain thinks that this is going to end. I'm convinced he is one of these people like, yeah, I know this is going to end in my death, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah. I think that would be a good end, though. Like, Vader needs to be the one that kills him.
Yes.
If he is going to die at the end. Because he might not. We don't know.
I'm not saying he'll die in this game or anything.
No, I don't think he's going to die at the end of the game.
If they want to continue on with this series, his story ends with Vader killing him.
Probably.
It's the only end now that I can see.
I think he's going to die. Yeah. I think it's the only way it really works if you're going to keep it.
Makes sense. Yeah, and the only way it makes sense with the way canon is, especially the way they have Vader in between the trilogies, because Vader is literally the boogeyman,
and he's the Jedi hunter.
He's a Jedi.
He gets called a Jedi hunter because he kills Jedis. It's like his hobby.
Yeah. And he's very good at it.
This is the game that I might be getting. I don't know. I've not fully decided. Dead Island 2 is coming out.
Is it finally getting released?
It's finally getting released on April 21st. It had its reveal trailer or announced trailer a very long time ago with its first one, and the one for this game, because this is a game that went through
it had a multiple
development hell
and multiple redesigns.
Well, this Dead Island is clearly, it's not going for the seriousness that it did with the first one. It kind of looks like it's going to be...
did not actually pull it off very well.
And it's going to be a little bit more, I'm going to say, first-person Dead Rising.
Yeah.
Where it's a bit silly. It's got
maybe not the whole thing of like everything's on a time scale and...
No, not that. What I mean is like the silliness of the of the game, of what was going on.
The tongue in cheek of it.
Yeah.
Which it might work, especially...
It looks alright.
Yeah.
It looks alright. I might get it. I do like a good zombie game. Mm-hmm. So it might be on the list. It
will be. It will be compared to the likes of Dying Light.
I will probably be comparing it to Dying Light because
the mechanics of the basic mechanics, especially the combat, which for Dead Rising was the whole deal of that game.
Yeah,
is very similar to Dying Light in a sense of like you craft custom weapons to do.
Well, you can craft could do
Yes,
that.
I know,
You
but
could
like
just pick up weapons.
you could just pick up weapons. But if you actually wanted to do actual damage,
Oh no, you
especially
can
in
just pick up weapons.
especially in the end game,
Oh,
when
yeah.
every zombie was like a Hulk with extra health.
Yeah, a little bit. So, moving on. Also coming out this month is Minecraft Legends. That's the PvP.
The
Strategy
strategy game. Yeah,
So that looks pretty good. Was it PvP? Strategy?
yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was just a bit confused there. That looked alright. That's coming out on Nintendo Switch, PC. It's also coming out on PlayStation and Xbox.
Uh-huh.
So, whoop. Advanced Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp is finally coming out.
I think it's a little bit later than
April.
it
Yes,
originally.
it is very much later than it was supposed to come out. I think before COVID.
I think it was during COVID, and COVID basically this was one of the games that got absolutely smashed.
This is coming out on April 21st. This is one of the games that a lot of people have been looking forward to for a while now.
Yeah, because it is a strategy game, and it is well loved. So
yeah, to be fair, the new art style for it looks really, really cool and very
the
good.
updated art, it looks really good. I admit that it looks very, very clean and crisp, but still keeps that style that the original.
We have the DLC for Horizon Forbidden West: of Burning Shores coming out, which is basically the Hollywood sign. It's basically
California, people.
So basically, what California looks like now is what this game looks like.
Clearly,
Okay.
on fire.
Pretty much. Alloy pursues a sinister new threat to the planet, hidden amongst these dangerous, untamed wilds.
It's called Fire.
It's called Homeless People. We have Sherlock Holmes: The Awakened. That's coming out. That's coming out on all platforms as well. This is the it's Sherlock Holmes in a Cthulhu.
Yes,
setting. That's what this one is.
Well, I'm always interested in Cthulhu because Cthulhu is a very interesting thing. But
Yeah.
still, if anyone that's a
it is
fan
a Sherlock
of those,
game.
yeah, anyone a fan of that series of games, I'm sure you'll like it.
We have PGA Tour.
Yes, actually. That's EA, isn't it? It's not 2K.
That's EA PGA Tour.
When was the last one they did? Because they used to do it yearly, and then they stopped. And
I think it was a couple of years ago, but it wasn't. Ghostwire Tokyo is coming out on Xbox as well this month.
You guys get
This one is one of the ones that I'm actually. It's only on Xbox, so I'm a little bit like ugh, but it's fine. The Last Case of Benedict Fox.
Oh, yes, the Cthulhu.
Metroidvania type game.
The Cthulhu Metroidvania, that was the one that was really interesting. So that's finally coming out.
Yep, that looks really cool.
It does look
really cool.
I'll look forward to watching. I mean, it'll probably be on PC as well, so I probably could get it.
Yeah, it's on PC, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. We have The Mage Seeker, another League of Legends spin-off game. The Mage Seeker, a League of Legends story, is an action RPG that takes place in the League of Legends universe in the Kingdom of Demacia. The Mage Seeker holds the power to oppress magic using citizens in the name of public order by inducting and indoctrinating them, locking them away, or driving them into hiding.
Lovely. So the Inquisition then.
Yeah, pretty much. We have the Mega Man Battle Network.
That's the anyone wants a couple of 100 hours of content.
There you go. There is a lot of 10 games in total. And that's only there's five games in one collection and another 5 in the other one because I'm pretty sure there's 2 collections.
Yeah, but you get both collections.
Do you get both of them?
Yes.
I thought you had to get both. I thought you had to get both of them.
No, I'm pretty sure they're. I mean, we could be wrong, but...
Oh, no. Experience all 10 mainline Mega Man Battle Network titles, complete with previous exclusive battle chips and long-awaited net battles that you can enjoy alongside friends and other players worldwide. That's going to be available April 14th.
Yeah.
So, not a big month. But
there is
the last couple of years, April's really been the month that kills your wallet. But this year, I think it was last month.
Yeah, last month was the one that
last month was pretty bad.
There's one or two standouts. For example, Jedi Survivor.
Yeah.
I really did enjoy the combat in that game. The only thing I got frustrated with was the final fight with the second sister.
Did it do the usual thing of like, oh, you've learned all this stuff, it doesn't matter now, you have to learn something
It wasn't that. It was just like, oh yeah, we've been kind of forgiving on a couple of things up until this fight, but now we're not going to be forgiving at all of anything.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, do you know what? Fuck this. I'm just going to lower the difficulty.
I can't be asked.
Can't be asked anymore.
Yeah.
It's been long, arduous to get to here. I've enjoyed it. Don't ruin it for me now. I just want to get through this bit.
That's like no, it's not. It's not at all. I was going to say it's like Callisto Protocol, but it isn't. It's not. The combat in that game is just absolutely terrible. But anyway,
dodge. Literally,
oh, there's two enemies now. Oh, well, you're fucked. You just dodging.
It's literally a combat system from Mike Tyson's Knockout. That's what it literally is. You can literally. I'm pretty sure someone could probably mod that to put Little Mac in it.
Oh yeah, definitely. You can probably hear some dogs. I've got the window open because it gets hot in this room.
Yes. It's a small room.
It is a small room.
There was a lot of electronics in here that generates heat.
Yeah, it does. Anyway, but that's it. So yeah, I'd say good month.
Yeah.
An easy month, I think. Easy month.
It's the games coming out. There's a good variety of them, of the game types, and there's like I say, a couple of good standout ones.
And we've got WrestleMania next month as well.
Yes.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah.
I do like a bit of WrestleMania.
Yeah. Cody Rhodes versus
Roman
Reigns.
Unfortunately, it's going to be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Usos for the tag team belts. I'm a little bit disappointed.
I know. I wanted Roman to go full megalomania and go, I'm going to fight both you and Sami Zayn on one each night. I'll fight you, Sami, for that belt, and you Cody, and then lose both.
I really wanted that.
I would have loved that. That would have been amazing.
In this way, at least Sami and Kevin are both on the card.
They're on the card, and they're probably
going to get the titles.
The problem is that they're going to get the titles that literally mean nothing in the company.
I know.
Oh, WWE, why do you do this?
But that's it. And yes, I do hope you've enjoyed this chat.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in the next ones. Bye now.
Toodles.